Cheers, Curious Minds Crew. Hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to talk about how I'm accelerating feeding this curious mind. And I'm going to share a prompt that I came across that has been helpful. I've been testing it this morning. And I'm going to show you kind of how I accelerate my uptake of information, and then also at the same time show you Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity, right? And to take the same prompt and to show you kind of the iterations. And in my opinion, Gemini is kind of kicking butt. There is a Chinese AI company out there called Manus. There's another one called GenSpark too, but um, I tested this a little bit with Manus, and I don't pay for Manus, so I just only carefully use a little bit of the free thing just on some little pieces here and there. But it's pretty incredible. But I feel more comfortable. Google's already got most of my data and all of ours. So with Claude and Anthropic and Google and stuff. So anyway, let me show you what we start with here. And I think the big takeaway here, if you are not yet AI pilled as I am, you just need to start using this stuff because there are so many ways to accelerate your learning, your knowledge, your productivity. Okay, so here's the quick backstory. There was a bunch of headlines this last week about President Trump and Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, which is a large chip manufacturer, the largest company in the world, or largest market cap company, I believe, in the world. And there's been a bunch of back and forth on our semiconductor chip exports to China, and it's been very restricted. And this week, or maybe it was last week, I can't remember. Very recently, the U.S. decided to allow the H20 chips to be imported into China to be used by the Chinese. And Trump was like, well, these are old chips. These are, whatever. They're not the super duper chips like the Blackwells that NVIDIA makes that are like $100,000 a piece or something. So I was curious. I'm like, okay, well, like, what's the dealio on these H20 chips? So, hence my little video to you to show you how to use these a little prompt and some of these AI models and tools to really accelerate your learning. Okay, so that's the quick background. What I had heard is that the H20s have lower flops, floating point operations per second, but they have higher HBM, which is high bandwidth memory. And so flops are important for pre-training these models. HBM is more important for inference time, test time compute, like when you're actually entering something into ChatGPT and then you're waiting for an answer, that's inference. Whereas the models are pre-trained, right, on gazillion crap tons of data before we start using them and before they get released, like ChatGPT GPT-5 last week. Okay, so here's the prompt. This is the ultimate kind of prompt for learning. So you say, okay, I want you to be my personal subject guide for whatever topic. And here I put understanding the pros and cons of allowing China to import NVIDIA H20 chips. Provide the following. Give me a simple analogy that's relatable. Give me a detailed breakdown, work example, like a visual description, a little knowledge check, next steps, kind of suggest any resources, yada, yada, yada. I've since refined this prompt, not here, but I've added to it a number 7, which is give me a bibliography at the end and cite all your sources, like really like clearly. Okay, so this is the standard prompt. I put it into Gemini, Google's Gemini. I put it into ChatGPT. and I put it into Perplexity. For those of you who don't know, Perplexity is an AI search engine, AI powered search engine. And I've been using Perplexity for a long, since they launched, and I've always liked Perplexity in the way that they do things. However, they are not a large language model company like Anthropic, who has Claude, or Google's Gemini, or OpenAI's GPT-5, ChatGPT. Okay, so that's the prompt. Let's look at let's look at the difference in output. Okay, so we can see this is Claude. This is Anthropic's Claude, and it does a good job. It's visually laid out easily. Kind of breaks the sections down. Okay, advanced chips, gives me a little analogy. It's telling me kind of this and that. Now, what's interesting is it's giving me a visual description, but it's not really giving me anything visual. So you'll see in a second that I had to kind of prompt. So now let's look at I said, using the content above, create a polished one-page brief. And let's see what it gave me. Here's kind of my one-page brief. So it still gave me actually a lot of information, just kind of restructured it. So let's go down, and then I'm going to say, make it a little bit more appealing. This is what I got. That didn't really help me. So you can see as you iterate through, show me a version I can save as a PDF. It gave me the same thing, and I was like starting to get a little frustrated. I'm like, okay, I'm wasting time with you, Claude, right now. You're killing me, Claude. Oh, side note, I've been playing around. I have been anthropomorphizing my ChatGPT. I've got it. Any of you who are fans of the old comedy Psych, which was a psychic detective comedy, you'll know Sean Spencer, and then anybody who knows Jack Black and Nacho Libre. So I've trained my ChatGPT to go psych mode and nacho mode to have a little fun when I'm interacting with it. I know, sounds crazy, but that's what I'm doing occasionally, just to spice it up a little bit. Okay, so I asked it to then go ahead and give me some better research. The research, it didn't give me the flops and the HBM content, and I wanted to see more of that and get it integrated. And it just was not giving me the PDF stuff that I wanted. So I said, well, hey, look, build me, give me like an interactive kind of little web app or something. So this is what it built, and it's actually pretty good. Let me get myself a little out of the way here. So this is kind of nice. This is pretty. Gives me a little color, breaks us into little different sections. Okay. So this is Claude. That's the Claude output. Let's look at Google's Gemini, because in my opinion, after going through this, Google Gemini kicks butt up and down the court. And you'll see why in just a quick second. Okay, so same prompt. It's going through, it's thinking, right? This is all very similar, just look and feels a little different on the layout. In the text, right? So I get this text, that's great. Gives me a little of this, a little of that. And then I say, okay, hey, give me a one-page brief. And then this is what it created. Okay, great. This gives me a little one-pager. This is also very similar to what Claude did. Now, let me come back down here. Scroll back up. Sorry, jumped ahead on me. So there's my brief. And what I like here is what's pretty cool from a user interface perspective. Keep in mind I have the Pro version of Gemini, so I don't have the top plan, but I've got a decent plan. But what's pretty sweet here from a user experience is you can then just say, hey, give me a couple of these different artifacts or these different type of capabilities. So I was like, okay, yeah, give me the infographic. I'll show you the infographic. Now this is way better, like miles better, right, than what we saw with Claude. And so it's pretty cool. This is just, again, an infographic. This can be shared. Obviously, then it's building all the code. These are the insane things about these models, whether it's Claude code from Anthropic or whether it's Google's Gemini coding capabilities or OpenAI's CLX or Codex. Like these are pretty cool. Now, again, I'm not a programmer, so this might as well all be Mandarin to me. Or Hindi or Spanish, because I only speak like 10 words of Spanish, which is a shame. Lo siento. Okay, so we can see kind of the infographic, right? So that's pretty cool. Now, the other thing that's pretty awesome, and if you have used Notebook LM, which I have said in other posts, don't sleep on AI. You should be using Notebook LM, which is a Google product. The audio overviews were first rolled out months ago in Notebook LM, and they've kind of brought this out because it's been such a popular thing. So I'm just going to play this just a minute, or not even a minute, but like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, so you can hear this.
Into, well, a really fascinating high-stakes situation. We've got this August 2025 U.S. policy brief. It's an internal document looking at U.S.-China trade talks, and specifically high-end AI chips. Our mission today is to unpack this core dilemma. How do you balance the huge economic interests of major U.S. tech firms with the long-term national security side of things? It's a real strategic tightrope.
Okay, that is sweet. Now, again, depending upon your learning style, because we all have different learning styles, most of us are multimodal learners, right? We read, we hear, like we can interact with. The more modalities we can employ, the better memory retention we're going to have. And so I love this audio overview. It's great. By the way, which is not yet in Gemini, but I would almost guarantee it's going to come for the Pro. In Notebook LM, they now have video overviews, which are really, really good as well. Okay, and then lastly here, I'm going to show you the interactive. Let's go to the interactive web app. Now, what's pretty cool here is this is creating an actual something that's actually interactive, right? So we can do this. We can look and we say, okay, what are the security calculation? Okay, that's cool. Give me the risk outlook. So it allows you to kind of have just something that looks a little bit more interactive. And all of this, guys, is just, what's insane is we are dealing with almost like, I don't know, an alien intelligence in the sense of alien being foreign, right? Foreign to us. In this literally is intelligence being brought to bear, put right in our lap at some of the most affordable prices you can even imagine. Okay, all right. I'm going to try to land this plane because I'm at 14 minutes-ish time right now. And I want to show you, kind of ChatGPT. So if we look at this, clear this out here. If we look at this, you can see that I've got my prompt in there. Now let's look at what the actual GPT-5 comes up with. Okay, very, very similar. We get the text breakdown, right? And it's kind of sorting little sources. That's nice. This is very Perplexity-esque. I like now that they're putting in the links to where they're getting the information. That was a serious problem when ChatGPT first came out. Like, it would hallucinate, and then you couldn't reference anything and you couldn't verify stuff. So you definitely, if you're not aware of this and you're still listening 15 minutes in, large language models, these AI models are predictive. They are not deterministic systems, meaning 1 plus 1 doesn't always equal 2. One plus The way that this works, it's like it's predicting the next token, the next string of characters or information based on a very complex mathematic and algorithmic formulations and training and stuff. So I'm overly simplifying there, but it's why you get hallucinations, because it's kind of like the sentence that the cat is what? The cat is angry, the cat is fat, the cat is skinny, the cat is running, the cat is scared, the cat is jumping. Like, you don't know what, these models are basically predicting whatever's coming next, right? All right. So that's kind of what gave me the text. And then I said, okay, well, doing that, give me a, oh gosh. And then here we go. Boom, error. Um, so that didn't, you could see there, that didn't give me what I wanted. Then it's like, okay, I want to get my brief. Oh, I see why. My session expired. Let's see if we can get it back. Okay, let me see. I might have the download still. The brief. This gave me a This gave me an image. It didn't look very good. Let me see if we can get the brief. Okay, here's the brief that it created. So it did what's nice about GPT-5. It created an actual PDF brief that I could download, whereas Claude and Perplexity and Gemini will struggle with just, if you say, hey, give me a PDF that I can download, it'll struggle with that. And then here's my little bibliography. It's not pretty, but at least we have something that maybe we could go back. I probably will refine this prompt and say include the URLs, not just the actual title and source, but not bad. It's not bad. And then Perplexity, the last thing I'm going to show, same kind of a prompt. Perplexity's been pumping their AI browser, their competitor to Google Chrome. But you can see they give, they show you all their sources, and then they give the kind of the text. But then when you ask them to do more, it says, it'll try to give you a polished brief, but it won't actually create a document or anything interactive. I did ask it to give me more info on the flops in HBM, which it did, and it gives some good resources and search. But that's about it. So the clear winner, 100% winner, is for this specific type of learning task, based on what I just showed you, is Google's Gemini. If you have the pro version, I don't know what the free version would do, but anyway, I hope this gave you a really tactical, tangible, practical overview of how, if you have a curious mind like I do and you want to feed that baby, but you want to do it efficiently and robustly with a lot of multimodal learning capability, this is a way to do it. This is a way to do it. So I hope that's helpful. All right. If you stuck it out with me through this 19, almost 20-minute overview, congrats. Peace. Stay curious, amigos.